Okay, how are we getting on? I'm going to pop this open before we get into our quick onboarding. So, as you can see at the minute, we are in our dashboard. If your dashboard doesn't have this view and it currently has a little setup to go through, just finish that off and you'll get your live link. Now, what this live link is an instant booking form based off of your schedule, service area, and services that you've provided. We'll get straight into it with first setting up your own service area. So whether you're mobile based or garage based or both, what you do is you go into service area. Where we put our business address is where our garage is going to be. This is where anyone is going to drive towards you. Now we can enable this quite simply with our buttons here. So we have drive to customers and then again, make garage drop-ins available. So if you're mobile, keep this on. And if you have garage, keep it on, and both if you want to do both, vice versa. So when we're adding our service area, it's quite simple to do. We can add as many as we want. We can set them between 1 to 50-kilometer radius. So as you can see, I have one here in Dublin, one here around Wexford, and one in Sligo. Let's say I have 3 different locations for mobile going. Anyone inside of this circle, quite simple here, will be able to book in with yourself. Anyone who puts in their air code in here will be able to do so. And if we reduce here, when they put in their air code, let's say they're just around here when they put it in, that'll make it that it says, hey, we don't service this area for mobile, but you still can drive to our garage. Okay, so it's important that we keep this in. Okay, now we have this. Next, what we're going to do is we want to make sure that people can book in with the type of payment that they like. So we offer 2 variations on payment. We either pay now or pay later. That can be cash or card on arrival. You have the option. Let's go into it here. So we go into our payments. Now we have 1, make sure that your Stripe is verified. Anyone that needs to go in and verify those details, do so. If you want to accept cash and card on arrival, I would highly recommend doing this. It definitely ups the likelihood of people booking in with your link. We want to create a frictionless link when we're talking about organic people coming in to book. Now, when we start sending that link to repeat customers who start using the service after the first or second and they get the receipts, they might be paying straight up, but a first time customer is less likely to. So we can add accept card and cash. What this will still do is take a screen of their card without charging anything so that you can implement a cancellation fee if they cancel within 24 hours. Now, look, we can decide to turn on and off deposits or cancellation fees. If we do this, the one thing that will happen is you probably will get more bookings, but buyer intent probably goes down. That's why we just like to take a flash of the card so that if they do cancel within 24 hours, you can still get the fee and it's not wasting your time. Right. So schedule. This is super important. We've had a few people when they start off, they put up their instant booking link, they don't update their schedule, and then someone books in with themselves at a time that they might be busy. Okay, so let's put it in here. Any of the days that we want to work, we just click on and off. Okay. And so if I want to work Monday 9 to 5, or I can just edit that I start work at 7 and I finish at 5. Okay, quite straightforward. We're going to add the days that we want. This will then be reflected in your instant booking link. Okay, any time off or days that you need, maybe you have a doctor's appointment or you're going away on holidays, stick it in here under holidays and time off. Same with if between 1 and 2 every single day you like to take a break, odd chance that a detailer is taking a full hour every single day. But if you are, you can add that in so that no one can book in maybe just at 1 o'clock, or there's a time that you don't like people booking straight in at. Once we're finished with this, we have our schedule aligned of what we want for people booking in. It's best to go off here and let's make sure that we go to our services. So they're in the bottom left-hand corner. We can click here and we can go into them. I've added a few services as we go, but if we're adding our service, it's just fine that we take in title, description, price, and then the amount of time, days, hours, and minutes that you need. Any enabled questions will come up for people on an instant booking link and they must be filled out. This also applies with tiered pricing. Now, when we're doing tiered pricing, if I set the fee at €100, and now my hatchback price is €100, I set it at 0. Okay. Now, if I want to add an extra €20 based on a sedan, we add that here. So that would be €120 service, 140, 150, and 160, so on. Now, any of the questions that we want to add, these are great. So car make and model, they'll just type in exactly what they have. I've usually told people to add these in so that if you're even doing tiered pricing, and let's say someone says they select the hatchback, and then you see it's an X5. It ain't a hatchback. So I'll show you exactly how we can edit that booking and charge them more later on if they put in the wrong information. Okay, so let's go back out here. So we have one of these services here, and then again, it is the exact same with our upsells. So upsells are the things like headlight restoration, pet hair removal, or maybe a few different things like odor treatment some people have. Anything you want, all you have to do is select here, click on the services that you want to add it towards, and then these will come up in the logic when someone is booking. Okay, quite straightforward. Now, we've set up everything for people to book in instantly. Where do we get our link? Okay, we get our link here. Okay, so this link, share it to wherever you want. If you have a website, what we've always recommended is on the homepage at the start, you have a button that says call now and then book instantly. The book instantly button, all you have to do is add this link to it. It'll open up straight into, and what is it? What the client will see. So this is what any of your prospects will see when they're coming through. This can be changed into day and night mode right here for yourself and for them. As I stated, if you have a garage, this will show up here and you'll have the option for mobile and then again, drive to them. So let's say we do drive to them. We'll go here, we will select our service and we've picked it. Any of the optional upsells that we have associated with will come up. We click through to them and you'll be taken to the questions that you've selected for each service. Now, it's important that you select questions based on each service. If you only add them to one service and not add the questions to the other, they won't come through. It's service by service is how our questions work. Now, we have a 5-seater, leather, hatchback. Is there water at the house? Residential parking. Boom, make a model. And like I was saying, BMW X5. If someone has a BMW X5, it's not a hatchback. We can all agree on that. Doesn't take a genius. They come through here. And now, based on the schedule that we've set, we don't work Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. So on Thursday, we want to come in. There's only one schedule left. It's at 4 o'clock. We're going to try book in for that now. And as we're taken down, we have accepted cash payments and then again, pay now. Because we've accepted deposits and cancellation fees, it will take a scan of the card. And then the same goes for here with pay now. When they do pay now, this does not mean full transaction fee will be taken out. 50 cents will be held on their card. And when you mark the job completed, it will charge their card. So if someone books 2 or 3 months out, do not mark complete now because it will charge their card straight away. But if you do want to maybe take full payment, you can do that. It is up to yourself. This also will be taken into effect for cancellation fees, as I'll show you now. So the booking is completed for them. What do they get to see? They get this and they'll get an automated email saying that their booking has been confirmed. Now, let's go back to exactly what you'll see. So we booked in, or the client booked in on Thursday. As shown here, it's Thursday and we've had a few cash jobs. And this is our job here, okay? First off, let's go into if we need to edit it. So we go in and we review it. And as we're reviewing it, we're going through, we see they've picked hatchback and then it says BMW X5. And we go, well, that's not the right price. Not to worry about this. What we can do is we can just change here. We can add on any fees that we want. So maybe we'll just say car size. Or again, if the condition's wrong as well, we can just do this. We can add it to it and it will charge their card appropriately when you finish the job. Okay, so we're doing an extra €40 for the car size. And maybe there's some pet hair that they didn't take into account for while we're working there. We'll just quickly add that to it. So now we have 2 custom prices added to it, which is totaling an extra €60 to it. So once we update this booking, boom, now we are done. It has been updated and it's ready. We're given 2 options when it's pending. As I said, if we finish job, this will charge the customer. And then again, if we go to cancel, we are given an option on our cancellation fees. From this, we can charge whatever we want with cancellation if it's within the 24 hours, 50, 100%, or custom, okay? For now, I'm just going to complete the job so that we get our little celebration. Okay, as we go out here, again, we might need to edit by day or not just price. We can always do that. We can just push our slot. So could be raining, maybe something comes up for yourselves and you've set your schedule that you can work from 7 in the morning. They'll give you all your free slots and now it's been moved to the Monday of when you wanted to work. Now, this lines in perfectly with adding your own clients or bookings. Any person that books in through your instant link will come through and become a client for yourself here, okay? This is great because it's just a nice CRM to keep all their details, and we can also add details that we might need. So car make and model will be a nice one that we can add, or any additional notes. If you've seen this, it means they've already made a booking with yourself in the past, okay? And it's a link that you can put through to find their old booking. Now we can add any of our own clients as well and store their details. This can be done bookings. Now we can either add our own client or create a new client. This new client will be stored for yourself. For now, we're going to go into our own client. Damn, that is a very great name. Who would have thought? Um, as we go in, we can pick any of the services we want, and then we can add any descriptions we want to add extra costs. Okay, quite simple. Any days you pick, it will tell you based on your schedule how much time that you have left. So today it says I've no availability for a 60-minute slot. It's saying, hey, you're already booked out as is. You can add a time personally yourself if you want, but it will tell you when you have overlap. So on Monday, now it's telling me all the free slots that I have. Let's pick 8 a.m. and then we can add any of these that we want. We create our booking. Now, again, we can edit any of these that we need to move days, change time, anything that we could possibly want to do. So let's go back just to finish off now. If you are on iPhone or Android, all you need to do to download the app is quite simple. You just go to the share button to bring it up and it'll say add to home screen. Doing this will make it a fully usable app where notifications will be sent by email to yourself. Now, where do we add our link to? We usually like to say to add the link to any of the socials, or if you have a website, what's best is to have two buttons, one that says call now and the other that says book now or book instantly. When you put book instantly, all you have to do, click this and then pop it in. Again, we can shoot off. If you're ever getting missed calls, just press share and then you can put it straight into your texts, and forward on your link to anyone so that they can see your pricing, they can see your availability, and they can see your services. This actually gets rid of a huge amount of tire kickers and allows you to focus on what you're doing. As always, if there's any help that you guys need, we are on the clock as much as possible. Weekends, night work, we know how it goes. So if you want to have a chat outside of work hours to maybe help with setup, or you have some questions on how things work, or you really have a feature that you think could really help ourselves, do get in touch with ourselves. We are constantly updating this. So I'm making new videos nearly every single week on how the service works because new features are coming in by the week. Anything you need, give us a shout. I'll have my numbers linked down and hope you make some money.